Today I'm in shock. I'm just so blown away by this. A friend of mine let me know something today. Something that really just blew my mind. I couldn't believe it. A certain game that I really love. It's a game that I've loved for years. Turned 20 today. The game is 20 years old today when it came out in Japan. And that game was Final Fantasy VI. Final Fantasy VI in Japan was released today 20 years ago. 20 years. Now, here's the game for me. When it got released over here, it was Final Fantasy III. And this, I just gotta dust it off a little bit here. That's too funny. This is my original copy from 20 years ago. Now, it was released April 2nd in Japan, but it was released in October for us in 1994. God, I can't believe it, eh? It's unbelievable. And then today, I was so shocked by the news. I was like, I just want to come and talk about Final Fantasy III for a brief moment. And some of my memories of a bit of the hype of it and, the excitement of it and getting it and all that. And I'll put a question to you guys. Do you remember when this game first came out? Can you believe it's been 20 years? Maybe tell a story about how you picked it up, all that kinds of stuff. That's what I'm going to do here. And yeah, do you know what? I kept it in pretty good condition all these years, and it's been on the shelf of the show all these years, and I've never had a moment to talk about it till now. I'll put it right here. Wow. Final Fantasy II was released on the Super Nintendo, and that just was the biggest game all the time. When I went down to my friend Andrew's place down the road and saw that, wow. 16-bit RPG Final Fantasy. Where this, and this is a sad one in a way, man. This is the last, 16-bit Final Fantasy game we were ever going to get. And it ended perfectly. They just did it absolutely eloquently. It's a wonderful, wonderful game, and there was a lot of hype surrounding it. I remember reading all the Game Fan magazines at the time. The build-up was huge, talking about the ghost train, the opera scene, all these wonderful things. And all I'd seen is screenshots. And back then, there was something really, really interesting. You didn't really know a release date. It'd be like released in September or October or something like that, but you never knew the exact date. Now you're pre-ordering it 3 months ahead of time, but back then you didn't pre-order games, so you didn't know when it was really coming out. You had a general idea. So my friend Andrew, who I was great friends with, had moved to the another province in Canada here. That's for people around the world. I'll explain to you. And so he no longer lived in my city, and we were both looking forward to the game for so long. This game was built up for years. The build-up was just insane. Finally, I got a call from him one night, and I knew the game was coming out in the next 2 weeks. I didn't know exactly when. And I get a call from him, and he's like, I've got the game. I'm like, you got the game already? Like, really? And he's like, I turned it on. He goes, and the first 5 minutes of it, he goes, I had a tear coming down my face. And I'm not being funny here. A 16-bit game, I'm hyped for it. But an opening with enough emotion to make my friend, not that he was a hard-ass type of guy, but he wasn't a very emotional type of person that way. He's not gonna, for him to say he shed a tear was huge. I'm like, how can this game create that kind of emotion? That's impossible, But I was intrigued. I get off the phone with him. I'll never forget, this is my reaction. At the back of my house, we used to have this long driveway that would go up. And there used to be like a basketball hoop out there. And I remember just running out there, jumping, and I was yes, it's coming out tomorrow. And he had gone early in Calgary, but it was coming out. I'd phoned up, and I found out it was coming out the next day. So I was freaking out, knowing that, boom, it's not like 2 weeks away or a month away. It's tomorrow. And I don't remember as any of you guys in the States remember this store. They came up to Canada for a bit. It was called Master Player. This is 20 years ago. And you got a little card, a Master Player card. If you bought so many games, I think you got a discount, but I never bought that many games, so I never got a discount. But anyways, I went there, and I got this exact copy. And I'll never forget that the guy gave it to me, and I gave him like, I think it was like $100, and it was $99, something like that. Some crazy expensive price. And he gives it to me, and he goes, "Oh, enjoy." And I had this stupid moment, and I'm like, "Oh, I will. I will." And it was like such a big moment. The hype for the game was that big, and the excitement for the game was even bigger. So I took it home. Never forget, coming in the house, going to the basement, closing. The first thing I did, close all the drapes. I didn't want anything. I didn't want any lights coming in. All the blinds were shut on this side. It was done. And I made myself a cup of coffee, and I smoked, and I put all my cigarettes down, and I put the game in and flicked it on. And I was like, am I really gonna have a moment like my friend did? And god damn it, I did. Instantaneously. You know, after that opening sequence, all of a sudden when we cut to the Magitech armor walking through the snow. The most legendary story ever. You know what I mean? It was funny because I was at work and I was talking to a friend of mine. I said, "Oh, you remember first picking the game up?" Because we were talking about it coming out today. He's like, "I'll never forget that snow level." And I'm like, "I know." I said, "I really want to come on and do an episode and just talk about that moment in the snow, with the Max in the snow. And that music is playing and it's so emotional, and it's like, it transcends being a game at that point. It's an emotional experience that you're having. And obviously the game began and it was wonderful. It was like just the biggest love song to Final Fantasy, still to this day to me. Now don't get me wrong, I'm not a hater of any Final Fantasy after 6, but I got deep affection for 6. 6 is very high up there for me. 7 came out and is a big game. And an episode we got coming up on Sunday, me and Rob talk all about the Final Fantasy 7 hype. That's what the entire episode is about. We've really been enjoying that lately. But yeah, just this game was that big. It was that exciting. And wow, it lived up to all those expectations and then some. So anyways, that's my initial reaction to Final Fantasy 3. And you know, it's all the other games I've enjoyed in the series, but this one has such a special place in my heart, honestly. And I can't believe it's 20 years old. You know, I just turned 40, but finding out this, is 20 years old. This makes me feel older, because I was 20 when this came out. And the perfect age for it. It was just perfect. So, guys, tell me about your experiences playing Final Fantasy 3 for the first time. Maybe picking it up, a good launch story. I would love to hear them. So, anyways, guys, until next time.